There was a smell of burning. The whole city was burning. Bombs exploding, battered dead bodies were strewn around. It was a meat grinder. By 42, the Germans were advancing towards Stalingrad. The Germans moved their main units from all fronts to our area. Why? Because Stalingrad was to determine the outcome of the war. If the Germans were to make it across the Volga, they would have advanced to the Caucasus, occupying the oil fields. Russia would have perished. As we advanced to defend Stalingrad, the infantry went first. We followed them, pulling the artillery. I'd never ridden a horse before, but eventually I rode very well. I wasn't the type that searched about for an ignition key. When our unit made it to the city, there was absolute quiet. The Germans hadn't yet reached the city. They began with a massive bombing of Stalingrad. Bombs were exploding practically every few feet. They turned the city practically to dust. Everything was burning. The Germans attacked dozens of times each day. By then, their tanks were attacking. Our trenches would shake from side to side. You couldn't lift up your head. When you looked up, there'd be a German right there. Our backs were against the wall. When I was on the front lines, I felt like this was the place for me. I got used to it. I wasn't afraid of anything. Quite the opposite. Often when we were under fire, my horse would start trembling. I used to hug the horse's neck and stroke it, saying, "Steady, steady."
On the last day of September, Hitler announced that the fall of the city was only a matter of a few days. Once more, the world was afraid a Russian campaign was lost.
Our army commander saw that we were at risk of being surrounded and destroyed. He told our division commander that when his main force retreated to the Volga, it would be up to our division to hold off the Germans and not let them advance. That meant our one division was to hold the front against two whole German armies. The city was ablaze. Nothing was left, just ashes and the smell of burning. Often in battles there are sounds of shelling, bombing, guns firing. In Stalingrad, you couldn't hear anything because of the constant hum. You felt you were inside a meat grinder. Whole battalions went in, never to return. There was fighting for every house, every floor. We did not retreat. The person in charge of the operation was Zhukov. He was a serious strategist, very smart. He decided to encircle the German armies. His plan was this. 3 fronts had to push in from separate directions. Surround and destroy them. The opinion of the Soviet people was, myself included, that the Germans were behaving in an inhuman way and must be destroyed.